In this tutorial video, we'll be creating a Twitter-like bot using Python and Tweepy. The bot will like tweets relating to certain topics that we specify. Before we start, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notifications. Also, check out my Discord and other social media for updates on the projects I'm currently working on. Alright, so I'm in Visual Studio Code, which is where we'll be typing all the code, and I already have Tweepy set up. If you don't have Tweepy set up, then be sure to click this link at the top right of the screen or the link in the description in order to watch a quick tutorial on how to set up Tweepy. After you have that set up, we can start with the like bot, which is going to work similarly to my retweet bot, but we're going to be changing it to like tweets instead of retweeting them. The first thing we need to do is to create a Twitter stream, which is basically a stream which constantly looks for new tweets matching our criteria. I'm going to be typing the code and then explaining it afterwards. So we start by making a class called myStream, and we'll make this class inherit from Tweepy's streaming client class. This allows us to have access to this class's features. Inside of the class, we can type def on tweet and pass self, as well as tweet. This method will basically run each time the stream detects a new tweet. This tweet variable represents the tweet that we find. So inside of this method, we can create a try block, and inside of the try block, we can display the text of the tweet in the terminal by typing print, and then inside the brackets, tweet.text. We can then actually like the tweet by typing client.like, and then passing the ID of the current tweet we're working with. Every try statement needs an except statement, so underneath try, we type except exception as error, and then in the except statement, we can just display the error in the terminal or output. Alright, so what does all this do? Well, here we're creating a stream class, which will later be used to create the actual stream object. Inside of the class, we're creating this method down here, which will run every time the stream detects a tweet that matches our criteria. We'll be setting the criteria later. Now, since this chunk of code happens every time we detect a new tweet, we need to like the tweet. But since we're quite scared of getting errors, we're putting it inside of a try and accept block. This try and accept block just makes sure that in the event of an error, program continues running even after the error was detected. This line of code here is the actual piece of code that likes the tweet. Alright, now that we've defined the class and what it should do, we can go ahead and create the actual stream object. So we can create a variable called stream and set it equal to an instance of myStream. Make sure to pass your bearer token in the bearer token parameter here. This next part might become a bit complicated, but basically we're going to be setting our bot's filter rules. I explain what the filter rules are in this video, which I'll link at the top right and in the description of the video. But just a quick recap, these rules will determine what tweets the bot will look for. So for example, if we wanted tweets that contain hashtag Python, then we'd need to create a rule for the bot to follow, where the rule states that the bot should only search those types of tweets. The thing with these rules is that setting them is quite complicated, which is why I encourage you to watch the video I recommended a few seconds ago. The bot we create there is very similar to this one, so you can feel free to skip to that part of the video. I'll also leave a link in the description to Twitter's own documentation where they explain how to set these rules. For now, I'll quickly try to explain the basics. We can create a rule by typing stream.addRules, and then we need to pass tweepy.streamRule, and then inside of these brackets we need to create a string. This string has special syntax. If you wanted to find tweets containing a certain term, let's just take hashtag Python as an example, then you would type hashtag Python. If you wanted to search for two terms, then you would type or and then hashtag programming. This will make the bot look for tweets containing at least one of these terms. If you want the bot to look for tweets containing both of these terms, then you would take this or away and make sure there's only one space between Python and programming. Now, to make the bot not include retweets and to not include replies in our search, we add this part to the string. This basically means we don't want retweets, and this part means we don't want replies. This dash sign means not, so we're basically saying not retweets and not replies. This entire rule will now make sure that we only receive tweets containing either or both of these two terms, as well as no retweets and no replies. In your rules method, you can also add this parameter. This is important if you want to test these rules. If this parameter wasn't added or set to false, then our bot will keep these rules forever until we delete them. You can delete them with this piece of code. I also explained this much better in the video I recommended earlier. Now that we have our rule added, we can actually now start the stream. We do this by typing stream.filter. We are now able to run the bot, but before we do, I want to add a delay in the code because we might get a lot of tweets. So at the very top of our code, we can import time, which will allow us to work with things related to time. And now back at the bottom inside of the class, make sure to type this under the try and except block. We can type time.sleep, and then whatever number you put in these brackets will be the number of seconds the bot pauses before continuing. So for mine, I'll just make a 1 second delay. I now have Twitter open on the one side with our code on the other. We can see that the bot hasn't liked any tweets. And so if we run the bot and we wait for a short while, we can start seeing tweets coming up in the terminal. If we let the bot run for a while, we can kill the terminal, which stops the code running. And then in Twitter, we can refresh this page and we can now see that the bot has liked many posts. Each post matches the rule that we created earlier. So the tweets contain either hashtag Python or hashtag programming, and they aren't retweets or replies. With all that said, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on the bell notifications. Also check out my Discord and other social media for updates on the projects I'm currently working on. Other than that, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope to see you in the next one.